Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. I know it's been a couple of days, but I've been kind of busy doing other stuff. But I did manage to finally get through Touch of Death, Ravenloft 2nd Edition, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons module. 4 characters levels, 3 to 5 actually, 4 to 6 players, level 3 to 5. I think the level's a little low in some cases for the challenges within. Now, it's a pretty intriguing story. However, it's very much a story. It's very much a railroady situation. The adventure takes place over, I think, about a week. That's very, very structured. You need to do these things on these days. There's a little wiggle room, don't get me wrong, but this one is one of the more railroady modules that I've read in a while, and I'm looking at some of the other ones, and they also seem to be leaning in that direction. And I'm going to actually do a little video about some railroady stuff I came across during this week. But as you could, probably guess from the image, you're going to be dealing with mummies, but believe it or not, you're going to be dealing with a lot of mummies, especially 2 rival mummies that are maybe even 3 now that I think about it. There's a 3rd one that's kind of in the background, but they're, you're basically going to be pawns in their game, and hopefully you will be able to upset the table if you, play your cards right. But seeing as how they are mummies, and for the most part they usually only have about 35, 45 hit points, but needing, magic weapons and things like that to even hurt them makes it a little tough for a, 3rd to 5th level character. Now, if they're for the most part decked out with some, halfway decent +1, +2 weapons, then your game, the combat challenges aren't going to be so tough. But there is plenty of intrigue and mystery, and of course horror, because it is, after all, Ravenloft. But I do warn you, unless you are ready to try to corral your players and get them on the the rails and guide them through this adventure, there are going to be times where the players are probably going to want to just say nope, and just nope out of it. You may need to say, hey, let's just go with the flow, see what you think, and if you're not big fans of the ride, let's just ride it out. It's only 7 days. However, if all goes well, there is a lot of treasure to be had. Unfortunately, there are a lot of curses on said treasure, which could literally decimate your party after having completed this adventure. And you might want to either tone down the curses or make the curses include some warnings before they do the deed that will get them cursed. Because at 3rd, 5th level, removing said curse is just really not an option. And the players might literally not even know what's killing them, and that to me is just not a lot of fun. But if you can tailor make and tailor edit some of these issues, this would be a really fun adventure with a lot of ups and downs, a little bit of heartbreak along the way. But all in all, it's not bad. It's definitely not. I couldn't give it a 5 out of 10. Maybe on a generous day I could give it a 5 out of 10, but that's kind of pushing it. It is a short adventure, and I had to go back and reread some of the things. But one of my favorite parts is the isometric drawings of the pyramid area and the dungeons. Let's see if I can show you a couple of pictures right off the bat. I don't know if you can see this one very well, but it's wonderfully drawn and really gives you a sort of up and down sense of running upstairs, running downstairs, running through tunnels and hallways, and precarious combat arenas where you're 80 feet above the ground fighting on a platform against various forms of undead, a lot of things like that. It's not bad. I bet if you were to edit it just a little bit more, you could potentially bring it up into a potential 7, especially if your players are really in the mood for an Egyptian themed adventure. The next adventure I will be reviewing is, I believe, Web of Illusion, which is a more Indian, has an India feel to it. It's a bit thicker, so it's going to take me a little bit longer, and I've already started reading it, so hopefully by the end of the week I'll be able to get to that. But before then, I'll probably hit you guys up tomorrow or Thursday with some of my thoughts on the Railroad. As you guys know, I'm a sandbox guy, and the next 2 adventures are definitely going to take place in some sandy areas, but all puns and kidding aside, I hope you'll check this one out, on PDF form, because I definitely wouldn't pay the $30 that they're asking for this one. If you can find it somewhere for free, give it a read and see if it's your thing. I really, really can't really recommend it unless your players are already in that sort of mood for an Egyptian adventure, or maybe they're you're playing in Dark Sun or something like that. Otherwise, Ravenloft's got a lot more to offer than this one. This is just kind of weak, and to be honest, it could be a little overpowered for an average group of 2nd edition player characters. 3rd, 4th, or 5th level. You could easily end up with a total party kill barely halfway into this adventure. So I'm not giving it my thumbs up, but I would recommend that you read it, because there are some really neat ideas in here. Just all in all, when you're done with it, you may be done with that campaign. So, forewarned is forearmed. And until next time, folks, have a great week. Let me be one of the first to wish you guys all happy holidays. This month is just flying by. I can't believe it's already the 14th of November. And, as always, happy trails.